You've probably seen those dreamy resort wedding packages online that say they start at $999. But let's be honest, does anyone actually spend that little? Not really. So in this video, I'm breaking down the real cost of destination weddings at all-inclusive resorts in Mexico, what you'll pay, what your guests can expect, and how to plan a wedding that feels luxurious but still works for your wallet. Hey there, I'm Megan with Escape Key Travel Co. and I help busy couples plan destination weddings at all-inclusive resorts in Mexico that are gorgeous, meaningful, and don't come with any surprise price tags. And I've been in your shoes. I planned my own destination wedding, so I know how confusing the early stages can be. And this video is going to help you understand the real numbers and start planning with clarity and confidence. All right, let's start with a realistic overview of what couples actually spend, because it's usually more than the flashy base package price. Most of my couples spend between $10,000 and $20,000 at mid-tier resorts like Dreams Natura or Majestic Elegance Costa Mujeres. If you're leaning towards a luxury resort like Unico 2087, Secrets Moche, or Atelier, you're looking at $20,000 to $35,000 depending on how custom you want to go. These numbers usually include your wedding package, decor, entertainment, and some extras, but they don't include flights or guest rooms, which we'll talk about next. Now let's talk about what your guests will spend, because that plays a huge role in the overall experience and turnout. At a family-friendly resort, guests typically pay $900 to $1,200 per person for 3 nights. This includes meals, drinks, transfers, and taxes. And an adults-only or higher-end property, it's usually closer to $1,200 to $1,400 per person. To unlock group perks like free wedding packages or room upgrades, resorts usually require 10 to 15 rooms booked for at least 3 nights. When we work together, I manage all of that. Your room block, the booking page, reminders, and guest questions. You're not on your own, and you're definitely not stuck texting everyone details last minute. Here's where things get real. Let's look at an actual mid-tier resort budget and what each line item typically covers. For a wedding with around 40 to 60 guests, and we're talking like mid-tier resort, here's a realistic range of what to expect. First and foremost, you're going to have a base wedding package, and that is usually $1,000 to $3,500, and it typically includes your ceremony setup, the officiant, a bouquet, a boutonniere, a basic cake, and a semi-private dinner at one of the venues. It's a great starting point, but most couples want to build on it. So we could look at decor and florals, which ends up being $3,000 to $8,000. This is often the biggest category, and honestly, one of the most personal. So think ceremony arches, centerpieces, reception tables, upgraded linens, candles, and floral accents. It's where you bring your vibe to life and make it feel like your wedding, not like a cookie cutter setup. You also probably want DJ or live music, $1,500 to $2,000. Resorts usually don't include entertainment in the base package, so if you want a DJ, a saxophonist, or mariachi trio, this is often a separate fee, and it's usually really affordable, and your guests remember it. The dance floor and lighting is also additional, $1,000 to $2,000, especially if you want to host a reception on the beach or in a garden space or by the pool. You'll need to rent flooring and lighting setups. If you want a private reception, that's also going to be an additional upgrade. If you don't want to share the space with other resort guests, a private reception ensures that you get your own venue, wait staff, and timeline control. The other thing is photo and photography, and that can range dramatically, but the in-house photography is often basic. Many couples choose to bring in their own photographer because of their preference, or upgrade to a premium vendor because these are the memories you're keeping forever, and this is the part where I really splurge with my photography. Hair and makeup, also $300 to $700, depends on your glam. But if you want a trial airbrush or a specific stylist, it can cost extra. And bridal party styling adds to the total as well. Now the base package is just that. It's a base. Almost every couple adds on, and that's not a bad thing. It's just as important to budget for what really matters to you. Now let's look at the sneaky little details that can quietly raise your wedding total by thousands if you're not expecting them. First and foremost, guest count. Each guest adds more of everything: chairs, centerpieces, meals, drinks, and transfers. So if you go from 60 to 100 people, you have another 40 people, another 100 per person, and that's $4,000. Extra events, rehearsal dinners, welcome parties, farewell brunches, they're amazing, and they make your wedding feel like a full experience, but they're not free usually. So expect to pay for food, drinks, servers, and sometimes rental space. But it's so worth it. And the outside vendor fees and shipping, we want to think about what you want to bring. Do you want to bring your own photographer, hair and makeup team? Resort charge outside vendor fees, usually $1,000 per vendor. And if you're bringing your own decor or favors into a checked bag, you need to figure out the international shipping fees, which can get quite steep, as well as the customs fees coming into Mexico. And here's something most people don't realize: budget resorts can end up costing more and delivering less. So a $5,000 package might sound so amazing up front, but here's what you're often not seeing: fewer inclusions and more a la carte fees, no private event options, higher vendor fees, limited decor of florals, and early event end times. There's also less support for your guests, and that makes it even worse because the guest experience might suffer. So think slow service, dated rooms, or crowded buffets, and your guests are paying for that. That's why I'm so big on value over price. Sometimes spending just a little bit more gets you better food, better service, and more included. And honestly, a better wedding overall. Okay, so how do you actually make your budget work for you and get the most bang for your buck? Many resorts offer free wedding packages when you book 10 or more rooms for at least 3 nights. That could save you $3,000 right there. Other perks may include free nights for the couples, a spa or cocktail hour credit, room upgrades, discounts on private events, anniversary stays, but these promotions vary by resort, season, and guest count. So that's where I come in. I help you pick the right resort at the right time to get you the most value. I also have great connections with the wedding teams because I go and see those resorts in person. If you want to see a real wedding quote for a resort like Secrets Moche, Dreams Natura, or Unico, drop the name in the comments. I might feature it in a future video. And if you're sitting there thinking, what would this cost for us? Let's talk. Click the link below to book a free consultation and we'll walk through your numbers together. In the next video, we're walking through your destination wedding timeline from when you book your venue to when you should send your invites and everything in between. So if you've been wondering what to do and when to do it, don't miss it. I'll see you there.